Hey everybody, I really want to find a stock that's been beaten down so bad. Because I mean, I don't know how accurate this is, but I saw this guy posted on Facebook, one of those Facebook stock groups. He put like 100,000 in options into a company, and he got 5 million after a year. What company? It was a used car company. Carvana. So I put Canva. Carvana, and I mean, I think he could have made 5 million from 100,000 because apparently he picked it up. He bought options, like 1 year options, when Carvana was like $4, something like that. I think he was in the high threes, and then he just sold the options. He put like 100. I wish I took a screenshot of that, like 108,000 into it, and he sold it when it was in the low hundreds. So even if you didn't do options, so you put, say, $100,000, and it went from let's just pretend, for argument's sake, he timed it perfectly, which is unlikely, but I'm trying to find the absolute low in the past year. Let me go to options. The hard thing is that you kind of have to time it right. If you time it wrong, you won't make any money. You'll lose your entire investment. Let's look at the open. I thought it doesn't go back to before May. I put January 2023. It never fell below 4. Let's do the bottom, 438. So that's the bottom, and that was in January 2023. And let's say I'm just buying and selling stock, no options, just to see. And let's say you timed it perfectly. It looks like 123.12. Oh my God. 123.12. And that was in 5/15/23. No, 24. 24, which is kind of a long time frame, but so what's going on? What the hell is wrong with this? Oh, okay. So that's the growth just by buying the stock, the shares outright. What the hell keeps happening? Okay, 438. It was in January 10th, 2023. Carvana, and then it went up to 123 at the peak. So if you just invested the money, you didn't do options. I know you could get more options. I'm just curious. Okay, so you could have got 2.8 million if you put 100K into Carvana when it was 438. It's a lot of money, you know. But that's how much he said, and you sold it at the top. The thing with options is that sometimes it's a timing thing, but like the price of the option is usually so expensive. It has to be an extreme situation for you to get a return, and unless you like somehow time it like Roaring Kitty did when no one else knows about it, or you time it like you buy 1 month options and the stock goes up, triples in 1 month. That's the only way to do it. Let's just see the options chain. But you have to get super lucky because it's just so expensive, the premiums. What's a beaten down stock? I was looking at Etsy. Let's do Etsy because I think that's a pretty beaten down stock. It's 7.5 billion market cap, so it was a lot lower a few months back. So it's 64. Like if you look at the whole chart, like it started out like a $20 stock, and then within a year it fell from like 20 to like $4 or $5. Imagine if you did that in a Roth. Yeah, right. You don't have to worry about the taxes. So the thing is, you don't buy at IPO. It almost seems like it always goes down right away. So, and then it had a really, really big run up, especially during COVID. People were home, and Etsy was a great site for people to go to because it's really specialized. If people like custom made jewelry and like custom made anything, they go to Etsy. They wouldn't really go to eBay or Amazon. And then it went 300. I mean, it went up 100x. So you don't even have to buy options if you invest in a stock that goes up 10x, 50x, 100x. But you can see it's come down a lot. Let's go up 5 years. So from that 300 peak, it really came down, and that was from November 2021. So only 7 months to drop 80%. But you can see it's not like it's in the 60s, which is kind of like it hasn't been in the 60s since 2020, pre-COVID. So it's not at a high level. It's not like if we looked at it and we were looking at it at this point in time, then we would think, oh, we missed the upside. So we didn't miss any upside. I do think there's a lot of downside with this stock. I'll show you why. Scott, what are your thoughts on nuclear energy for AI? Seems to be the new thing. Okla and NNE. Next year, right? NNE. NEE is next year. What's NNE? Let me. Nano nuclear energy. I should really do like a video on nuclear energy and explain it because I don't really know about it. And if I do a lot of research, I'll have to do a lot of research to explain it because I don't know. I know really on a basic level, but and I know there's demand for nuclear energy, especially for nuclear power plants that it uses a lot. Also, obviously, nuclear weapons, which there is some demand for that. Oakland is backed by Sam Altman. Because sometimes you get like, you know how you find a stock and you want to like dedicate a lot of money towards it, and even if it goes down in price, I do that, and I kind of did that with Meta when it first IPO'd. I was like, I put all my money into it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go heavy Meta, but then like, and I wish I never changed that strategy. I still have a lot of Meta, but then I get all like, not scared, but then I'm like, well, I need the money for this and that, and so I ended up diversifying. But of course, it would have worked out if I went heavy Meta. There's been a few stocks like Accelera. I'm down a lot. Like I put 50K into it. I'm down 25K. So yeah, so that realistically, that guy could have easily gotten 5 million from 100,000 with options, because he could have got half of that with just buying the stock. I mean, but it's hard to time it perfectly. Even if I said to you, like, say there's a stock that's $100 today, and I have a crystal ball, and I know for a fact it will go down to 60 tomorrow. There's going to be really bad news, and I know 100% for a fact it will go to 60. The problem is that even knowing that, you probably won't be able to get it, because as soon as the market opens, it's already unless I told you like next week it's going to go down to 60. So you have like a few days before anybody hears about it. But even if you know for 100% a stock will go up or go down, usually you can't even buy it. Like when a stock IPOs, if I really want it, I never get it at a good price. I always have to pay a lot more, because all the insiders and institutions buy it up before you get a chance. So the price, it's already built in. Okay, BNED might be the next meme to explode. Barnes & Noble, the same story as GME, billions in increasing revenue with 23 million? Is that right? No, that can't be 23 million. 23 billion. 23 million? You're right. They're bankrupt. They're going bankrupt. How did I not know that? I should know this stuff. 45 cents a share. It was 10. We could buy it. We could all kind of get together and buy Barnes & Noble if we want. But that's a bottom feeder if I ever seen one before. After years on the brink of extinction, the book chain is planning to open some 30 new stores this year, many returning to retail. If they keep up their average rate of closing about 15 stores a year, we're looking at potentially 645 stores by the end of this year. They're even hoping to push that number to 650. So it seems like Barnes & Noble is not just sticking around, they're expanding their horizons. Wow. What the hell? How could it? Something's not right. How could it? Does anybody know, like, how could that be? Like, so it was 45 cents, and then it peaked at 15, which is only 30x the low. So 30 times 25 is like 700 million. I guess 700 million. Victor, what's up? Anybody see that video I did with Victor live stream? I was thinking me and Victor should do like a podcast, like a weekly podcast. Because I think repetition, consistency is good. So if you always do it at the same time every week, maybe more people will join. And he's really the only one that does live streams with me. It's so hard to find people to do live streams. Once in a while they do one, but I guess just people don't want to promote their channel or something. I don't know. 1.6. So yeah, so my goal, and I know it's like you might think, oh, I'm doing well. Why do I care about making more money? But I really so exciting, but it's hard. If this person put 100,000 to Carvana options and had 5 million, so that's a big bet. I don't know if I can drop 100,000 into like a play like that. I'm open to like 10, 20,000. But I would have a hard time dropping. My wife would kill me if I did that. So here's our bottom feeder. I'm not going to say let's pump this stock. I'll just use a different word. I'm going to use jump. So I'm not going to say the word pump, so I don't get in trouble. Let's jump this stock this coming week. We'll jump on top of it. Let's look at options. When a stock gets this low, like 45 cents, options don't really benefit usually. Options give you leverage, but it's much more beneficial when a stock is like higher, like $50, $60. When it's under like $2, $3, there's not much room. So, because if you want to buy like Apple stock, like 1,000 shares of Apple, you probably can't afford it, right? Most people can't just drop 100K into like a stock, because a lot of stocks are $100, $200, $300 a share. But you can buy 1,000 shares, and it would, most people make, that's only $500. That wouldn't even hurt a lot of people. So that's what I'm saying. The lower the stock price gets, options don't benefit you because you could just buy it outright. And you have to pay such a huge premium. And there's not much activity. As you can see, the option chain is pretty limited. But if we went out to $1.50, so it has to go up 200%. The price has to triple. Look how wide the spread is. This is just a simple, like, kind of like a rule. When it's a wide spread, meaning the bid-ask spread, look how wide that is. 95 cents to $1.95. That's a huge spread. That means it's illiquid. It's not much activity. When you buy a stock, pretty much any stock, you'll see the bid-ask spread is like a penny or two, because there's so much activity. You're not going to find people who are like, no one's going to pay 50 cents for Barnes & Noble stock when it's trading at 45, because there's already like tons of people trying to sell it at 45. Unless it goes up to 50 cents. But with the bid-ask spread, it's really wide, which is crazy. I usually just go between the bid-ask spread. That's usually, the last price was $1.30. So I would definitely not go above $1.30 since it's such a big spread. So this is a normal spread: 35 bid, 40 ask, 80 bid, 90 ask. The only stock I've seen a bid-ask spread that's kind of wide is Berkshire. I wouldn't even buy options because of the like I said, these are puts. Let's look at calls. So it's 45 cents. It's trading at 45 cents. Let's see if it even pays off. You really have to nail it. But October is a little breathing room, 5 months of time. So let's do the, there's no activity for the $2. Well, not no activity, zero bid. This is crazy. Look how wide the spreads are. Let's just do the $1 bid-ask spread. So let's and let's say it's what's between 30 and 5. That's let's do 20 cents. So it's 20 cents. Each contract is 20 cents. And we'll do 100 contracts. And each contract controls 100 shares. So you got to pay $2,000 to control 100 contracts. So you have access to 10,000 shares of stock. I should just do I should put together a spreadsheet so I don't have to keep doing this every time. I'll do it later. Victor, do you do options? So the only way for you to make money is the price of Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble has to break through $1 in order to get any in order to exercise the options and make money. It has to go through $1. So say it gets to $1.10. You guys probably, I do not do options. We should talk about it offline, and I'll show you how it works. Like just some, and then we could do a live stream and talk about it if you want, or I could just do it on live stream. So if it breaks through $1.10, or if it breaks through $1, let's just say it hits $1.10, then you could buy it for $1. It could buy it for $1 any point in time. Doesn't matter what the price is, but you would never buy the stock if it was, say it was in the market for 80 cents, like it's 45 today. Say it was 80 cents in a month. You wouldn't pay $1 for it because you could get it for 80 cents. But if it hits like $1.25, $1.50, you do have the option to buy it for $1. So that means you would get a return of 10 cents. And you control 10,000 shares. So you can buy 10,000 shares for $1. So you would exercise the option if you wanted. At some point, you would definitely exercise it, but you would lose money because you pay $2,000 for to have that ability to buy these options for $1. You pay $2K. That was your premium. So it has to hit $1.20 for you to break even on your investment. Can you cover a top? And yeah, Barnes & Noble. So once it hits $1.20, you break even because you pay $2,000 for the contracts, and now you're paying. When it hits $1.20, you have to pay somebody. You have to pay somebody 10 G's because you're buying you can buy the shares for $1 at any point in time. So if it hits $1.20, you give somebody $10,000. They give you 10,000 shares, and then you turn around and sell it in open market for $1.20. So you buy it for. I'm gonna get a nice spreadsheet set up so I don't have to keep doing this every single time. Okay, stock. We'll call this stock profit and total profit. Okay, so in this example, it takes like 15 minutes just to set up the spreadsheet. Okay, so and it's October 18th. So if you buy these options, I'll just show you one contract. So one contract is $20. So to control 100 shares, it costs $20. If we do 100 contracts to control 10,000 shares, it costs $2,000. And then once it hits $1.20, the stock, you can exercise the options and you break even. So it doesn't matter how many contracts you buy, whether it's 1 or 1 million. I'll just do 1, and I could just multiply 1 contract. I'm going to have it set up where we just enter like the 4 or 5 numbers, and it'll do all the calculations. Okay. So if you just get 1 contract, your premium is $20, and then if it hits $1.20, you break even. But of course, you don't want to break even; you want to make money. If it goes to $2, you make. If you bought 100 contracts, you make $8,000. So let me just show you. And you only had to put up $2,000 to make $8,000. So that's the beauty of options. You don't have to put up as much money. It's kind of like a slot machine. You can put up very little money to win a lot of money, but the chances of winning a lot of money are low. That's why people play blackjack or roulette. It's a much higher chance of winning. If you put $10,000 on red, it's almost 50-50. Like you have a 47% chance of getting it. But with slots, it's like a 1% chance of getting something. But the chances of doubling your money is kind of like is minimal. But you can lose the whole investment. Yeah, 99% of options expire worthless, or something like that. So most of the time, it wouldn't even hit the $2 threshold. Let me just set it up so I can have this done. Okay. Current price. I just want to show you how much money you would get from options versus just buying it outright. Current price, today's price. Okay. I'll say updated price. I don't know. So maybe like a month later. But most people don't buy calls to exercise. They typically buy for the appreciation and the option. Right. I'll get to that. Most people don't exercise. Exactly. They sell it because the option contract is a security that is moving throughout the day in the market. So there's value, but that's 100% correct. The hell? It's like I do this every single time. I do the same exact thing. On already. I don't know. I always do this, but for some reason it's never there when I need it. Okay, I'll be right back. I drank a lot of water. I drank about a gallon of water after I worked out today. So about a quarter of a gallon came out just now. I think I'm going to get rid of my Patreon because it just, I don't really use it much and it's kind of annoying. So if you want you can email me if you want this file. My email is in okay. Okay, so today's price, what ticker are we doing? BNet. Okay, finally. Hey, Mike. Okay. Exercise. Hope this saves. Okay. Expiration. Uh, 10/18/24. Okay. Contracts. Do 100 contracts. Shares controlled. Okay. Okay. Option price. I'm about to reorder these. Option price. How much did we say it was? 20 cents. So The premium is $20. And we say, okay, 120 is the updated price. How much? I think everything. So you can always buy it for $1. That's gonna always be your exercise price. And then how much can you sell it for? Okay, so did I do this, set it up right? Okay, I'll make this nicer. Okay. So finally, here it is. So just buy 100 shares without options. Okay, so if you bought 100 shares without options, buy shares without options. Actually, I should put it next to it. Okay. Okay. Profit. Okay. I think I'm done. I lost almost everybody, but okay. Hopefully I did this right. Okay. So if you just bought 100 shares of BNED today, it would cost you $45. And let's just say it did hit $1.20 in like 2-3 months. You could sell it for $1.20. You make a profit of $75. So your total profit, you don't pay any premium. You got a $75 profit. You invested $45. So that's a return of 167%. If you bought one contract, one options contract, and these are the terms right here. It was expires 10/18/24. You can buy it for $1 anytime on 10/18/24 or before. And let's just say it does hit $1.20. It doesn't matter when. Say in a month from now or 2 months from now, before 10/18 hits $1.20, then you can exercise your option contract. So you would pay $100, 100 shares at $1 each. You would turn around and sell all 100 shares for $120 because that's the rate in the market, and you would profit $20. You did pay a $20 premium because that was the option price. It's 20 cents per contract. So you get a zero profit, 0% return. So in this situation, you would have been better just buying the shares outright. What if it went to $1.50? Then you can sell the shares for 100. You buy the shares for 100 with the option contract. We all know that. You turn around. Let me just hide this. You turn around and sell it for $150 because that's a rate in the market. You pocket 50. That's your profit on the stock, but you paid a premium of $20. So your total profit after the premium is $30. So it was 150% return. You invested $20. That's all you put into it, your initial investment, and then you profited $30. So 150% premium profit. If you just bought the shares outright, you could have just bought it for $45 today because that's the price. You sell it for $150. You make $105 profit, 233% profit. So you're better off buying the shares outright in this situation. What if the price went up to $2? Now it starts tipping the other direction. Probably like $1.70 is the break even. So if it goes to $2 share, it would have to go up 4x. Then you can you pay $20 for the option contract, and then if the shares go up to $2, you pay $100 for 100 shares. You sell it for $200 in open market. You profited $100. After your premium, you profited $80. So you profited $80 with a $20 investment. So 400% return. As opposed to buying the shares outright, you could buy them outright today for $45 because that's what they're trading for today. When you initiated the option contract, you sell it for $200 and you pocket $155. So you had to invest $45 to get $155. So a 300% return. See, so it has to go up a lot. I mean, to go from 45 cents to $2, it's a big jump, right? But like if the today's price goes up to $5, then you can see how exaggerated this gets. 1,900%. And $8, 3,400%. But the thing is, it's such a small price per share. That's why it never gets that crazy. But if it was $100 a share and you do these options, then you start to see a big difference between these two. So so even if it does get to $2, you can buy like 1,000 contracts. That's that would cost $20,000, and you can make $80,000 profit. So I guess the point is, it probably doesn't make sense to get options for this. If it was a much more expensive stock, this kind of breakdown makes a lot more sense. I know it's still kind of probably confusing because it's not the most straightforward topic. Okay, so let's just let's table the option talk because it's a little too abstract. But I was looking at Etsy. How about Etsy? It's not quite at its all-time low because it IPO'd at 20, and it's back down to pre-COVID levels because it's 64. The last time it wasn't 64 in 2022. It did get close to 64. It looks like it got to 72. The last time it was this low was April 2020, which is actually after the COVID crash. So it was trading in the 60s in 2019. COVID brought it down to maybe 50. So it's not that much higher than the COVID lows. So all I'm saying is there's a lot of upside potential. I think it's going to keep coming down. I think it'll be in the 40s at the low, and I think that's a good time to pick it up. Right now the RSI is 42, so it's appealing for the RSI level. I'll show you why they're going down. So a couple of things. I want to see if they have this on the same slide. There's a couple of really big ways to kind of look at e-commerce companies. I think the most important stat, and some people might not agree with me, is users, number of users. A lot of times you look at GSM, gross merchandise sales. So this is how much they sold in just the first quarter of 2024, $3 billion of merchandise. Of course, they don't get 3 billion because that's just the sales. They only get like a percentage of that. They call the take rate. So the take rate is the percent this company gets, and it's a 22% take rate. So 22% of 3 billion is their revenue. and it's made up. They get 6.5% of each sale. They also get a few percentage from processing fees, like credit card fees. They also charge people if they want to like up their listing, so they get higher on the listing to pay like a premium to like advertise. And there's a few different ways they can make money. They charge marketing. They charge people to advertise on the website. So 646 million. And the reason the stock is going down is because it was higher, the GMS. It was higher in the first quarter of 2023. So it's going down. And you want to see these things going up, not down. Even when a company plateaus, remember when like those big companies, Amazon, Google, if they have a plateau, like their like revenue was same as last year, the same quarter last year, it goes down a lot, the stock. People want to see growth, like a 20% growth, not flat, and definitely not down. So it's down from the first quarter of 2023, although revenue is up slightly. It's 646 million, and it was 641 million. So revenue's up a little bit, but not even 1% revenue. And then users are plateauing also. Where's that slide? Well, employee count was cut. They had 2,000 employees, and down to 1,800. So they cut 200 employees. They're spending more on marketing. 30% of their revenues towards marketing. It used to be in the mid-20s. Okay, here's so active buyers on the website. So that's another metric you want to look at. Total sales on a website and the number of people who are buying things on the website. That's up 2%. It's 91.6 million. New buyers is down 15%, which is really bad. Because I think they had new buyers. This is the worst quarter ever for new customers, like adding new people to the website to buy things. They only added 5.7 million new buyers this quarter. Last quarter, which it was holidays, so of course they're going to be higher, they added 8 million new people to the website, meaning people who bought on Etsy for the first time ever. But it's not good when you see last year it was 6.7 million. Now it's down to 5.7 million. Because attrition, because every new customer, every new person on your platform is good, but if you're losing people on your platform, and which is inevitable, you will lose some customers for whatever reason. You obviously have to lose less than 5.7 million, else your overall is going down. And they did lose less than 5.7 million because they're up in total buyers, up to 91.6 million. So they did add 2% overall. So their attrition was less than their new. But another big red flag is their GMS, how much each buyer spends in a year. The average is 125, and that's at its lowest level also. It's down 3.5%. And that's lower than all the prior quarters. 1 year ago at this time, the average customer was spending 129. 6 quarters, they were spending 135. So not only are they not getting as many new people on their website, but each person is spending less. So that's why the stock has come down. But they've been doing a lot of work, a lot of marketing to try to get these numbers up. And I kind of think they hit their tipping point because, as you can see, the stock came down a lot, really in reaction to these numbers. That's why the stock kept coming down. And at some point, it will go back up, unless the company goes out of business, and they're not. They're a profitable company. So usually that's what it's kind of like a stock price. It's like, what was that? It's kind of like when the stock price goes from 30 to 60, or 30 to 100, and you're like, okay, is 100 a good price? And it would have been a great price because it hit almost 300. But you wouldn't want to buy north of 200 because that's way overvalued. So what's the right price? And so what do you guys think? I think Etsy is a good play. I mean, it's hard because you wait. It's like, okay, I don't want to buy it now. I think it's going to come down to 50. But if you keep waiting and waiting and waiting, it's going to go back up before you get a chance to buy it. So I guess dollar cost average down would be the best strategy. But it's painful. It's a painful ride. Like that with Meta, it was a painful 2 years for me. You know, it's hard to look at your account because it was 380 and I was up like 200%. And I bought more at 330, and then it just kept going down from November 2021. So 2 years of just seeing it, not just, it wasn't even flat. It was down like 70%. What I bought here, when I bought it for 330, it was down 70% on that. And I bought it for 150 in 2017. I was down 30% on that. And then I have to wait another year. Now it's paid off. So that's like with Etsy, like at what point, what's the tipping point? When's it going to explode? So what do you guys think? Do you think Etsy is a good play, or is it kind of like, is it too risky? Because these kind of companies, you got to see growth. They're not they're not like a Kraft Heinz where they've been in business 80 years. You need growth. You need these e-commerce companies. There's growth everywhere. And it's too young of a company to kind of plateau. Okay, that's my my pitch on Etsy. If anybody, it's risky. Well, I mean, they have positive free cash flow. They're $700 million of free cash flow every year for the past 4 years. I think risky is when a company is losing a lot of money. I'll be right back. The thing is, people love stocks when they go up. When a stock hits its 52-week high, that's when people pile in. They love it. But when a stock goes down, they hate it. They're like, no, I can't buy it. But you got to do the opposite. You You have to buy it when it's down. You don't want to buy it when it's all-time high. Easier said than done, I know. So I did a video on eBay, JD, Coupang, and Etsy. So let me know if you guys want me to. We can talk about these. I have the presentations. So you're saying this Faraday Future Intelligent Electric? $44 million market cap. Sheesh. Is it because of a short squeeze? Is that why it's you're saying this? The thing I hate about shorting is that I never know the real info. It's every website is like drastically different. If I want to find out how many shares are short, like one website says 10% of their shares are short, another says 40% short, 86% short, 85%. Yeah, there you go. How accurate is that? Okay, this is from Yahoo. We'll look at other sites, but okay. Okay, so shares outstanding is 42,410. And okay, 42,410. Okay, then I just want to make sure the website is accurate. I don't want to just assume every website I read is. So float. Share short 36,340,123. Okay. Percent shares. Percent short. Percent float short. %86 short. But the float short is 213%. There's 17 million shares on float, 36 million short. So there's more shares shorted than a number on float, which can be infinite. Because do you guys know the difference between shares outstanding and float? Float is just what's available in the market. There are 42.4 million shares. So that 42.4 million shares in the company, 25 million of those shares are locked up. Somebody owns them on the inside, and so you can't access them. Nobody can buy them. It may be the CEO, it may be a big institution, but that's how you short. You apply short squeeze. You find a low float stock. Step one. Okay. Find low float stock. Step two. Find like above 20% share shorted. And then step three, call a million friends. Okay, so this is the typical Reddit short squeeze. You find a low float stock. So this is pretty low float. Percent on float. Why does it keep doing that? Sheesh. Okay. Anybody here? Any thoughts on this? Okay. So this is how you apply a short squeeze, a Reddit short squeeze. You find a low float stock. So of the 42 million shares outstanding, only 17 million are on float. So you only have access to 17 million. So 40% of the shares are on float. So I would say that's low. I think anything below 50% is low float. Step two, look for something that has above 20% of the shares shorted. This is 86%. That's way above 20%. And then you call a million friends to buy it. Can't you simulate a short on a stick, but selling a call underneath your average buy in price because you believe they can't the call won't rise against your average price. We can't use simulate a short on a stock, but selling a call. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. Obviously, if you can somehow predict a stock price going down, and it does go down, you could make money. There's 100 ways to you to make money through regular stock buys and sells and through options. And if you can predict a stock price going up, there are hundreds of ways to make money on that. You can buy the stock, you can do options, you can do different like a straddle, all different things. The hard part is getting that right, predicting a stock that goes up that does go up, and vice versa. But yeah, there's a lot of ways. If you can predict a stock price going up and you do it in a good amount of time, like in a month or two, within a month or two, then options is almost always the way to go. The problem is if you miss it by a little bit, options won't help. So just buying the stock sometimes is just the best way if you think it's going to go up, because you have enough all the time in the world for it to go up. If it doesn't go up in 1 month, you can wait another month, and wait another month, and wait another month. With options, you don't have that luxury. Asmin, what's up? So this is 86% of the shares are shorted. Share short. Oh, that's interesting. Share short last month is 10.20, and then percent of those shares. So it's interesting. They went from a 26% share short to an 86%. Does anybody know a good website to see like a history of shares shorted? Is this? Look at that. It's a good looking Barry Sanders rookie card. Is this the table shows FFIE available shorted? This is good, but it's 1 day. Do they have anything longer? Oh, okay. There's more down here. Okay, so okay, so according to Yahoo Finance, 36 million shares short. So this is why you get Anderson. What's up? Thanks for commenting. You get different information from different sources. That's why I have a hard time, especially shorting. You don't realize when you want to buy a stock, you'll get perfect information on their financials. Assuming the company provided the correct financials and didn't lie, which most companies do. So you'll get perfect information on revenue, profits, and you also get perfect price information because the stock price moves throughout the trading day, and you'll get volume, things like that. But with shorting, there's no place to go where people have to say, "Oh, I shorted this." Like financials, it's a rule. In order to be publicly traded, a company has to provide their financials on their website and for others to look at. But And same thing with buying and selling stock. There's a lot of activity throughout the day, and all that information is public because we can see it, because it's the brokers have to report that information. But with shorting, nobody really knows like how much is shorted. It's kind of a guesswork. There is some information out there, but it's not as like complete as a traditional like options. Options are publicly traded securities, so that information is accurate. Whatever the last price the option contract puts and sells, puts and calls, that's accurate information. But shorting, there's no like guaranteed accurate information. It's just based off of a collage of all this different data out there. There's no like rule it has to be reported. But if anybody knows a good website to see the short interest, especially historical, I'd like to see over time. All right, NASDAQ. Yeah, I remember this has. So that's a lot of data. So here's a short interest according to NASDAQ, which matches Yahoo Finance. So they probably pull it from the same source. But this is, look at the short interest. It was 41 million 2 months ago. 286 million. That doesn't seem right. I would maybe question that, but wow, maybe it is 240 million. So why did the short interest go down so much? It was over 200 million. And then and days to cover. So if somebody has 5 days to cover, a short squeeze is less likely. But if they have 1 day to cover, then a short squeeze obviously is more likely. But if you bought in July 2023 with such high short interest, days to cover is short interest over average daily volume. Actually, the higher the better for share days to cover, because it only takes 1 day to cover these shorts. But when it's like in August, it would take 5 days. You have to buy all the shares 5 times, actually 6 days, to cover your position. Oh, reverse split. That makes sense. So you have to kind of divide these numbers by 3. It still seems high for a 1 to 3 reverse split. Are you sure it wasn't like a 1 to 10 or something? We'll find out. Yeah, they did 1 to 3, then they did a 1 for 80. That makes sense. 1 to 80. That was when, okay. That's why it's so high here. 80x because of the split. And that was right here, August 2023. And when you do stock splits, you have to take the product of the stock splits. So it's 80 times 3 is 240. So you would divide, if you want to know how much, like you see it's $4,400 a share right after IPO. Well, to figure out how much it was trading, it would be 4,400 over 240. It would hit $18 at its peak. But it IPO'd for 9, about 2,200, because you have to divide by 2,400. 80 times 3 is 2,400. So it was trading at roughly $10 at IPO. Oh, it's a SPAC. Is that why? It looks like a SPAC. It is a SPAC, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because a SPAC, whenever you see a stock at $10 at IPO for like a few months, it's almost always a SPAC. That's one thing you want to do, is not buy SPACs, because it's a really big waste of money. The only time you can make money is if you shorted them, or you somehow timed it really, really well. Like if it was 6 cents, then it shot up to 165. Now it's down to 103. So I think the short squeeze happened. It went up from 6 cents to 270. I think you missed it. It went up 47 times, 46 times in a couple of days. If you somehow were brilliant enough to pick it up April 19th, 2024, at 6 cents, and sold it for $2.70, it actually hit 390. It got even higher, 390, which is almost impossible. 65x your money. So this is yeah, we missed a squeeze. So you think it's going to go higher? Is that what you're saying? It split in March and then kept coming down. The problem is you don't know when the next surge is. Even if you bought it for $1, you would have been down like 80% or so, but you would have hit a jackpot up here. So it's a American startup. It's development of EVs. So it's 10 years old, the company. It began producing vehicles in 2023. Markets. 2023. So it's they do have revenue for the first time. They have 550,000 of revenue. On 9/30, they had their first sale. So the only people who make money are these people who start the company, and then they sell their shares when it goes public. Vallejo. 80% short squeeze. It was the biggest short interest stock. It would be good if they showed the short interest on this page. PLC, Big Lots. Oh, here's Faraday. I don't know. Well, okay. Any other stocks? This is kind of getting boring, this one. Any other stocks you're looking at? I should do DCF or I wonder what the car is that they're selling. In 2015, the company said that part of their future revenue stream was expected to come from alternative sources. They had such financial trouble, so they went public. They received money from Evergrande. Evergrande owns 45% of the company. And we'll go public, a SPAC. The combined company will be $3.4 billion. And now it's 44 million. See, it's such a scam, right? I mean, 3.4 billion. A lot of people had to put money into it in order to make it 3.4 billion. A lot of investors, and now it's worth like 1% of that. Chinese automaker Geely was expected to become a partner. I've heard of Geely. Faraday was listed in June 2021. They got subpoenaed by the SEC. Let me know if there's any other stocks. Several members they faked their financials. It's kind of crazy because they're not reporting any revenue, and yet they still faked it. I guess they just didn't show all their debt. They have 69 million of debt. I wonder what they lied about. Production on the FF91. On May 15th, it became the target of a meme stock, short squeeze. Maybe it has more potential. Maybe we should buy it. These are nice cars. Really futuristic. Sheesh. This looks expensive. It goes 200 miles an hour. $300,000. That's why they're not going to make any money. Nobody can afford these cars. Okay, I guess I got to sign out. Not many people commenting. But yeah, thanks for coming to the stream, and I'll talk to you later.